Somebody give me a guess of what that means. Yes, number 17. I can give you a clue. The clue is W. Yes, the clue is W, WordPress. Can you tell me what 17 means in WordPress? 17, number 17, yes.
Team 2017.
No. Weekly, okay. Someone else?
Yes.
Yeah, updates. Okay, so this is the thing. Every second, 17 posts by WordPress go up worldwide. Every second, 17 posts by WordPress go up. All right, then we have another one. I'm skipping 14. Then we have that. Who can, the number of? Running on WordPress CMS, yeah? Great. So let's go to myself. When I gave out my presentation, the guy said it's like a biography. Yes, it is. So my name is Oduor Jagero. Oduor is my witch name. It's my witch name. In Luo, you are named according to the time that you were born. Oduor is midnight. Midnight is for witches. So, but that is not the only thing about the Luo word, Oduor. Every Luo, the Luo believe that the name that you're given, the first name, is the soul. What drives you, what puts you apart, that makes you unique. Like there is no, what's your name, sir? Mwanza. So like, you will never find Mwanza anywhere. So the Luo believe that that name is the force that drives you. So that is the force that drives me. I have the colonizers' names that were given to me by my father, Ken and Anthony, which I don't use, unfortunately, for obvious reasons. Okay? So now, what we will discuss is my life, my writing, and how it all goes back to the topic. And the topic is WordPress and business. All right? WordPress and business. And I want to, so this is about me. I'm the lead CMS Africa Summit. And then I run this organization called Core Media. And then I am a writer. And they are telling me that I've used only 4.7% of my brain after doing all these things. I am not lying. So don't Stuttgart, these things are a lot. No, 4.7% of my, so this is CMS Africa. CMS Africa is an event that was started about 6 years ago. It hops from one city to the other in Africa. So the last CMS Africa Summit we had was in Kigali, March this year. Before that, we were in Abuja, Nigeria. Before that, we were in Kampala. And then before that, we were in Nairobi. And next year, we are going to Cape Town. All right, so those are some of the pictures. This is Kigali, that's Abuja. Next year, we're going to Cape Town. That's my company, and I am also a writer. Now, I have written 4 books. One is called Why the Hospital Corridor is White. It's a novel fiction. The other one is called The Ghost of 1894, this one. All right, and then the other one is True Citizen. I wish I could talk about them, but I can. So True Citizen is an urban fiction about the story of a conductor, a mad driver who falls in love with the wife of a traffic police officer. You know how that ends, don't you? Right? And then that's True Citizen. And then we have These two books are a bit sad. So this one follows the story of there was the genocide in Rwanda in 1994, right? Where about 100,000 people were being killed per day. So that was in 1994. But my book is called The Ghosts of 1894. I went to Rwanda and stayed there for about 8 months, researched the book, 100 years before the genocide, to 1894 in Germany. So that's one of the reasons why I don't have Ken as my name. And then we have Why the Hospital Corridor is White is a book about a young woman who is what's the word? Neurosurgeon in Nairobi. And then she's diagnosed with cancer. So the story follows her going to treat other patients while she's suffering from cancer. Then we have the last story, semicolon, is about a lady who wants to kill herself, but first she has to travel the world. So she travels from Kenya to Zanzibar to go and kill herself in Zanzibar. I have a family. So this is the woman that I think loves me. Okay, and then this, I think this one loves me unconditionally. And then we were laughing somewhere there. Okay, so now we are going to talk about what brought me here. Okay, that is WordPress and business. Okay, and standing here, I owe a lot of my life to open source. Everything that you see that I've talked about, I got married because of open source. You know, I had a child because of open source. I wrote books because of open source. All right? I am serious. You know, it's that serious. And that's why I really love open source, because open source is, well, the thing is, open source is not always free, but open source is mostly free. And the good thing about open source is that if you are just, did I tell you about my story? Now, I was born in the village. Yeah, and I'm the only member of my family who was not born in the hospital. My mother gave birth to me when she was going to the hospital. And she told me that she actually gave birth to me by the roadside, by the euphorbia, by the sisal. And she tells me that that's probably why your head is a bit bigger. And your nose is somehow not where it's supposed to be. Okay. Okay, but so there is something else I want to tell you. Because my father died when I just finished my fourth form. All right? And so I wanted to be a journalist, a writer. But then my father left me 30,000 in the account for my college education. Then my mother ate most of it. So basically, there was nothing to go to college. I traveled to Nairobi on faith, said that I'm going to Nairobi to start my life. Okay? And then, as you guys live in Nairobi, you know Nairobi can be a very tough place. So I knew my uncle, only one uncle, that I could live with. And I knew stories were being told in the village that you can't just live with someone in Nairobi. It's not going to work. So I didn't tell him that I'm coming to Nairobi. I just showed up. It was drizzling. I remember that evening it was drizzling. And his brother was in a school in town. And so I showed up and said, bro, I'm here. He suspected that I talked with his brother, who was my uncle. No, I hadn't. So I just showed up and hoped that that he wouldn't chase me away. He didn't. Thank God. I stayed there for like the rest of my college life. Then I went to college. And then when I went to college, my mother died 5 months into my college. You know, and then I was just in this city. This glass building alone. We will come back to WordPress and business, don't worry. I'm still backgrounding the topic, to bring you to what happened. So then, by the way, this story is for the people in this room that are just from college or in a place where they think that they cannot make it in life, right? And I am, because my life and WordPress and Joomla and everything else and open source is about, telling people that whatever you are that's going through in your mind or in your pocket or in your house right now, it's not going to be there forever. Yeah? Thanks to people who can make this change. Okay? So my college was in shambles. I tried dodging the teachers for a year and did my certificate. Then went for internship. But then after that, I said, well, I have to drop out. But I was bright in school, man. I was bright. I think I'm still bright. So I told my teacher that, you know what, I'm dropping out. And she said, why? I can't afford the fees. And then she told me to write a letter. And guess what? I was given scholarship for 3 years. So I finished. And started writing. I have never been employed. I was employed for 30 minutes, actually. 30 good minutes, 30 long minutes. Right? So, okay, let me not tell that story today. So after leaving college, I started writing, using WordPress.org to write. So I was writing scripts and posting them online. I was writing short stories. I was writing poetry. Then I started something called Poetry Spot, an event like this that was bringing about 600 people in a month here in the city, And I was all writing it on WordPress.org, And then Facebook came, and I started sharing and all those things, all right? So after doing all these things, and I was earning money from it, and then at some point, money dried. And I was totally broke. Then somebody came and offered me a job for 30,000 per month and said, I'm taking this thing. And then I remember it was one of the tall building next to Allianz in town. I don't know, the tall building is called what? That one. So this guy gives me a job, gives me a desk, and I say, fine, let me start the job. It was a writing job, writing online. And then I realized that I had 4 meetings that day to attend. So I said to this guy, look, I have 4 meetings, but I'm going to attend only one and I'll come back for the job. So I took my computer and said, why don't you leave your computer? I said, these things are in my computer. So I went back, we had a meeting, that guy offered me a gig, and I never went back to work. Anyway, so WordPress and business, you cannot take them apart. They're like this. Because it is through writing on WordPress.org that I earned my money for at least 3 years. I started writing my scripts and all those things. They were all on WordPress. So now I want to ask, how many people do business in the house? That's a lot of people. How many people blog? That's a lot of people. How many people are web designers? That's a lot of people. Right. So let's talk about WordPress and business. And when you talk about WordPress and business, it's a bit broad. It's really broad. And so that's why I crystallize it into 3 actually. So I asked the question, are you a blogger? Are you a designer? Or are you in business? The funny thing about these is that they're all related. Because if you're in business, then you could be blogging as a business. All right? And if you're a web designer, you could still be blogging. All right? So all these things are tied together. So there are people who blog like as a way of life. That's their business. So somebody might ask themselves, how is blogging related to business? And when I'm talking about blogging, I'm actually talking about WordPress blogging. There is blogging in Drupal. There is blogging in Joomla. By the way, CMS Africa is an event that brings all these guys together in one room to talk about. We have workshops for WordPress, we have workshops for Drupal, we have workshops for Magento and all these other CMSs. So there are a lot of people. Like I was talking to someone during lunch break about what she does, and she told me that she's blogging. And so the question is, how do I do business with my blog? How do I earn money as a blogger through my business? Well, I don't think it's easy to start earning money from your blog, to earn money as a blogger on WordPress. But you can. I think one of the things you have to do is to have to be consistent. You have to write like every day. You have to post. And the things that you post have to be interesting. So I majorly blog on Facebook, microblogging on Facebook. And sometimes I think that if I put them in a blog, it would earn me money, because I have a lot of followers on Facebook. Everywhere I go, I always blog about that thing. So I think that if you are blogging on WordPress, there are things that you can use. If you're on WordPress.com, you can use a lot of these things. Like I said, I'm not going to be talking about the practicality of these things or going into details about these things, because they're already on Google. So if you're a blogger, you can actually check out Google AdSense, you can check out Chitika, you can check out Infolinks, and you can check out media.net. But what is so beautiful about blogging on WordPress.org or on .com is this one, which is a dedicated advertisement by WordPress. So if you have a blog, they will have their advert spread on your pages, all right? And they share the revenue with you. The beautiful thing about that, they will share the revenues with you. I don't know about the percentage. If you want to know about the percentage and how it works, you go to WordPress, WordAds, their website, and then go to the frequently asked questions. You will know everything about that one. Okay. And then the other beautiful thing about WordAds is that all the big guys are actually scrambling to bid for the ad spaces on WordPress sites. So there is AppNexus, there is Amazon, and then there is Google AdSense still coming there, And you don't need to do anything. WordPress actually takes care of everything. You just need to write interesting materials, and they will all be there. Okay. The other thing is that you're a web designer, and you're asking yourself, how is WordPress connected to business? And I think this is no-brainer, because then all the web designers are making money. Who isn't? Who is a web designer is not making money? None, right? WordPress is becoming a force to reckon with online, actually, and that's why it's very important to get to WordPress and start using WordPress, because the future, I think, is WordPress, and I want to say that WordPress actually is working in a very human way, in the sense that WordPress, if you don't have the money to spend, they have something to give you. If you are that person who wants to spend money, they have something to give you. And that's why they have got WordPress.org, and then they have got WordPress.com. And I think it's amazing. Web designers that do not earn money, I think you need to earn money, because it is easy. Everybody wants a website nowadays. Everyone wants a website, and making websites has become very easy. The idea of rewriting everything nowadays is actually, there is a secret in web design that a lot of people who are not into web design don't know. And if you know those things, then it becomes very easy. And there is this gentleman called George Agag. So he's a content creator. He's a content creator, and he approached me the other day that he wants to work together with me so that when I have a job for web design, he can be creating the content. I think it's a great thing, because most of the time when clients come to me to build their websites, they don't have branding. They only have a logo, and it is only one file, which is like this tiny. They're no longer having a relationship with the graphics designer. He's lost. They fought, did not send the AI, and they don't know their colors. They don't know what to put on About Us. They don't know anything. They just want a website. And I'm telling you, those clients are marvelous. Because you have to sit down with those clients and give them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can go to 10. And if they are good clients, they will pay for all that. And everybody walks away happy. So web design is not just web design. I think as a web designer, you have to know a graphics designer. You have to know a content creator. And you need to know good ones. So that as a web designer, you are not just charging web design. I mean, your quotation should be long. Yeah? Okay, let's go on. Okay? Then we have business. Then we have people who are now doing business. And I think that the people who are doing business are not using WordPress properly. Because let me say something else. There's a friend of mine who's having a web design company, and he gets interns that he pay. Every 3 months, he has 3 interns that he pay to teach, to learn, and do things for him. So these guys actually write articles. If you are coming to work for him, you have to know how to write articles. And I think if you're a businessman, you have to be seen to be writing things about your profession. If you're a web design company, then people have to know the person designing. I was very impressed by this gentleman who came in front here and explained something deeply about search engine optimization and how Google, ranks pages and not the entire website. So what happens with business is that when this guy writes that as an article, then this lady who owns a brewery would say that when people type something to do with brewery is not the word. Let's forget about brewery. Let's say what? What can we say? An item that is sold every other day. Shoes, yeah? Yeah. Flowers, yes. Let's talk about flowers. She sells flowers. And then when somebody types flowers in Nairobi, she needs to come number 1, right? And then this gentleman has written a detailed article on search optimization. This lady, when she reads that article, she wants this guy to optimize the website. He's not going to get this guy, trust me. She's not going to get this guy. This guy knows nothing about search engine optimization. Why? Because this guy talks about it. So if you're a business dealing with sugarcane, write about about what's good about sugar. If your business is about wine, and you write about wine, so people will buy wine from you. So that is why it's very important for professionals to be writing about their profession. One, it builds your search engine optimization as a company when you write. Because all those pages are ranked by Google. Every article is ranked by Google as a website. So if you write 30 articles in a month or in a year, all those are seen by Google. And then when somebody types about that business in Nairobi, you automatically pop up. So that gets you people on Google when people search for you. Okay? And then branding. I don't know why I chose that photo, by the way. I have no idea. I'm okay. Okay. So branding. So this guy is talking about doing some ropes. I think it's the ropes or something, right? Yeah, he's doing some, how to build your muscle, how to do all that. And when you talk about that, people are always seeing it, okay, and going. And something happens that when people know you personally, for example, if you are a web designer and then you appear on YouTube talking about web design, then people develop a trust. There's an automatic trust that people develop with you when they see you. When they see you write, well, of course, when you write an article, there is a picture of yours down there. Then people that then marry your business with your face, and then they start developing that trust. Okay, so that happens a lot. And then the biggest thing that happens when you do that is that when you're a business and you blog, is that it's now there is a lead generation. Now you start getting business. So now you get so much web design work that you tell people that, you know what, we can't take your job. All right? So that is my presentation.